Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be my haul for the month of June, and I'll state right up front, it is nowhere near as epic as last month was. That was just absolute insanity for me. And this month it's a little bit toned back. I'm gonna start this off by saying that I have finally purchased this palette. This took so long to get to Canada, it was unreal. So this is the Violet Voss Sugar Crystals palette, and it's still not even available on Sephora Canada's website. You have to go in stores to order it, and they don't have very much in stock. I think mine, my Sephora at the Eaton Center had 2 of them, and I'm the lucky one that got 1 of them. Now, I don't really know why they're not in stock on Sephora online. I've been demanding on Violet Voss's Instagram, I've been tweeting at them, I've been asking Sephora, and nobody knows why this thing is not yet available on Sephora Canada. It's listed on the website, it just constantly says out of stock. Anyway, some physical locations do actually have them. Now, this was launched back in February. I have lash glue on it already. Jeez. This was launched back in February, and now it's June, and I've only just gotten it. The Sugar Crystals palette is a rainbow palette, so you know exactly why I picked this up. From the moment that I saw this promoted online, I was like, yes, I have to own it. And what's really drawing me in about this palette is the fact that the top row, I mean, the whole thing is the rainbow from one end to the other, but the top row is all vibrant matte colors. The next level down is a shimmery version of the matte color. And then the bottom row is kind of like those duochrome ivory colors that I'm always drawn towards. They don't quite look ivory just looking directly at them, but they have that pale sort of nature that when it catches the light, it flashes the color. Now, I've only used this once. I am planning a review on it, but I am kind of behind on palette reviews right now, so I will eventually get to it. Unfortunately, this palette was launched so many months ago that I really don't think anybody cares about it anymore. But I care about it, so I'm gonna be doing that full 5 looks review and swatches video, but it's gonna be a few weeks until that shows up. Anyway, I am just so excited to use this, but my main concern about it when I'm looking at it in person is that there's really no deep colors, and certainly no deep matte colors. Anyway, clearly everything I'm going to be creating with this is going to be incredibly vibrant, and I'm so happy to own it because I wanted it so badly in February that I just couldn't buy it. So this past month, I also placed a Sephora order, which is not very common for me lately. I feel turned off by a lot of makeup launches, so there hasn't been stuff that I've really just been wanting to buy at Sephora. I mean, aside from this guy, but I've been wanting that for months. So I placed a Sephora order because I was very kindly sent the Road Trip collection by Bite, but they forgot one shade and they doubled up on another. So I have 2 of Chicago and I had none of Dallas. And I love Bite Beauty lipsticks. I think, dare I say, they're my favorite formula of bullet lipstick. I feel like that's a bold statement, but I also feel like it's quite accurate. So I love basically any lipstick that Bite puts out. Their formula is flawless. I have never encountered a problem with a single one of their bullet lipsticks. And I love reviewing their collections. I did the Spice one last year, and I love that video because every single color in that collection was phenomenal, and I still wear them all the time. So when the Road Trip collection came out, I was like, hey, do you think you're gonna be sending this to me? Because I would really love to showcase the collection. And they very kindly sent them to me, except I was missing Dallas. So I picked up Dallas, and it is, I can't even remember the shade offhand. I haven't used this one yet. It is kind of like a berry color. There's a lot of pink red in it, but it's not too vibrant. Anyway, like every collection that Bite puts out, I am very excited to use this and review it. So I'm excited to complete my collection, and that review on the Road Trip collection will be coming shortly as well. I've got a backlog of things to get through. I'm sorry for that. I just feel like I've not been able to catch my breath with a few launches that I've been really excited about, including this one, and I've also now got my hands on the new Maybelline matte inks, which are not that new anymore, but I still love the matte ink formula so much that I'm gonna do a video on it anyway. So I'm happy to have this one in my collection now. And because I have to order 35 at Sephora for minimum free shipping, I had to throw something else into my cart. And there was nothing that I really needed or wanted. So I was like, okay, repurchase something that you're definitely gonna go through at some point. So I picked up another one of the It Cosmetics Brow Powers in the Universal Brow Pencil in the shade Universal Taupe. I use these all the time, and I will definitely be using this one up eventually, although I do currently have 2 backups in my collection because I did purchase some during the Sephora sale not that long ago. So I will get to this at some point, and I know I love it, so I'm happy to have added this onto my cart. If there's a lot of cuts in this video, it's because I have to keep getting around all the traffic noises outside. They are so bad right now, and I think because it's a really nice day in Toronto that everyone's out there in like their super sporty cars and they're just gunning their engines and trying to show off, and it just sounds so obnoxious. So anyway, if there's a ton of cuts, that's what's happening. In that Sephora order, I finally managed to use some of my point perks, which was very exciting because I've been sitting on like, I don't know, 1,500 to 2,000 points for years now, and they just keep accumulating. And if you're in Canada, you know that our point perks are almost always out of stock. We don't get nearly the same number that the US gets, and if they're sold out, you can't use your points, and if you can use your points, it's usually something really stupid. Like those pins and those nail plates have been on Sephora point perk bonus whatever for years now, and no one is picking them up. But this time, I finally managed to get a few things that I'm excited about. Number one is this Tarte Quench Lip Rescue Balm. This is just a baby sample size, but I have raved on and on about these guys for, I think, a few years now. I will easily run through this thing pretty quickly because it is a very soft formula, but I've used up, I think, 4 or 5 of these in the full-size format, and I will absolutely purchase more full-size ones once I'm done all of them. But if I could get this for 100 points, you're darn right I'm going to be doing it. These are fantastic. They're so comfortable on the lips, they are hydrating, and they are super glossy. It just looks like a super wet lip look. And I'm not one much for gloss, but this one feels more like a lip balm, but it has that glossy texture. So I'm in love with these, and I wish I could have added like 10 of them to my cart because I definitely had the points for them, but I think they only really let you add 1 point perk item per order. Anyway, I got one and I'm happy about it. I think this next one was another 100 point perk. I'm not really sure. This is the Boscia Purifying Cleansing Gel. I wonder if this is the same as the charcoal one that used to like heat up on my face. I don't know if it is. This one was packaged really poorly. It wasn't in like any kind of Ziploc bag or plastic, and I don't think that there's actually, oh, there is a cap. Then why? Well, that's concerning. Like there is a stopper to prevent the product from coming out, but this thing's kind of goopy, so I don't really know where the goopiness came from. Anyway, facial cleanser for 100 points, happy to have it. The next one, I think this must have been another 100 point perk. Like guys, I did really well, okay? This never happens, and these are only 100 point perks. This is the Tatcha, the Deep Cleanse Clarifying Japanese Luffa fruit extract. Well, cleanse. I actually thought this was a moisturizer. I guess not. I guess it's a cleanser. Wait. Yeah, purifying cleanser. Never tried Tatcha before. I find the price point very prohibitive because I am cheap when it comes to skincare. But I'm curious to give it a shot just because everybody goes on about this brand. And there we go. Decent sized tube as far as I'm concerned too. I like bringing these little things on vacation with me because I don't have sensitive skin. I can pretty much bring any sample size on vacation with me and give it a shot. So this will probably come on like my next trip with me. And the very last item that I got in my Sephora order was one of those things where you can put in a code and get one of like the most current release sample sizes. They do it for perfume a lot, but this one was for mascara. So this is the Too Faced, I was gonna say Better Than Sex, it's not. It's the Damn Girl mascara. It's their most recent one. And I have to say, I'm not really looking forward to using it because it's got that hourglass shaped wand that I despise. But I always pick up sample size mascaras when I can at Sephora because I feel like the value for the point use is actually quite good. Because I'm happy to try out mascaras, and I mean, if I hate it, it's not really any kind of monetary loss to me. And I am curious because, I mean, you've seen all the ads. You see how people say it's even better than the Better Than Sex mascara. So, like, who knows? But I think the brush is actually even bigger than the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara wand. And that makes me nervous because hourglass-shaped wands, I just find them so cumbersome. Like, I'm always getting that inner ball. Wait, no, I'm getting the end of the tip of the hourglass on the inner corner of my eye. And then I get mascara everywhere and I just hate it. Oh, they're calling it an infinity brush. Whatever, that's an hourglass shaped wand. I was also in the US very briefly this past month. I was there really only for 48 hours. We were there for a funeral on my husband's side of the family. And we had a bit of extra time, so I did get to peruse like Walgreens and CVS. And I didn't really walk out with a whole lot. I kind of expected to see more US launches that hadn't really come out in Canada, but I either didn't spot them or nothing really piqued my interest. But I did get 2 items. The first one, I don't think I really ever talk about nail stuff in videos, but anyway, this one's pretty. It's I guess it's the Walgreens brand Diamond Laser Cut Nail File, and you can pretty much see why I bought that. It's a rainbow nail file, and what drew me to this one is that I've heard so much talk about laser cut nail files over the years, and I've just never picked one up. And I honestly burn through nail files so quickly. I don't cut my nails anymore, I just file them down, and I burn through them. I burn through like those regular cardboard nail files pretty much in one filing down session, so I wanted to give this one a shot just to see if it'll last longer. And the other thing I picked up, I think was from a drugstore, but it may have been from Ulta, I don't really remember, is this Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge plus the traveling case. I have a traveling case already and it's starting to crack. Not the actual like outer plastic part that protects your sponge, but the little seam that keeps the case closed, that's starting to crack around the edges. And I just figured at some point it's gonna eventually not stay shut anymore. Although it is still doing that right now, at some point it will give up the ghost and just die. So I decided to pick up another one because, I mean, they're fantastic. I used that last case for, I don't even know how many years at this point. It might be 4 or 5 years, and it's just time to get a new one. And I like the fact that this comes with an extra sponge inside because I am always going through them. And the last few items in my haul are from my friend Sam, who was just either decluttering her makeup or she got doubles of PR stuff and she just passed them on to me. The first one is an Inglot pigment. I love Inglot, and she knew that I would want this if I didn't already have the shade, and I didn't. So this is the Inglot AMC Pure Pigment Eyeshadow in the shade 118. I'm pretty sure I've got like 117, 116, and maybe 119, but I did not have this one in the middle. So she handed it over, and it's pretty much just a champagne color, which, I mean, it's a neutral. It's not a color that I'm normally drawn towards. But I love Inglot, and I will take any opportunity to complete my collection. And the last 2 items are Maybelline bronzers. These are part of their new line. I've never really seen them before, so I would assume that they're new. These are the City Bronzer and Contour Powder in the shade 100 and 200. Not seen these in stores yet. It's possible I just haven't noticed them yet, but I really like bronzer, and these shades are way too pale for Sam, I believe, so she just gave them over to me. And honestly, I've got so many bronzers in my collection, but I always want to try more, which is just really ridiculous. I used to be able to finish 1 bronzer per year, but because my collection is now not reasonable, it takes me a lot longer, but hey, I'm happy to try out new ones. All right, that is it for my haul for the month of June. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've had a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye.